It's an interesting thing to discuss.
One of those marches has slogans like "Globalize the Intifada," "From the River to the Sea." I couldn't believe that Zach Polanski actually said that was okay. Those words are not okay.
We know what outlawed, as the Prime Minister has suggested.
So when the Prime Minister says something that is good, I completely support him. I think that now is the time. What is it that we're waiting for? What are we waiting for? Is it for millions of people to be heard? Is it for more and more murders? Enough is enough. It's time to put a moratorium on these marches. Of course we believe in free speech.
Of course
we believe in the right to protest. But these are no longer protests. They are now being used as a cover for anti-Semitic activity. And I think that is something the state needs to step into.
And you would also criminalise chanting that phrase. So
we have
free speech.
What we would do. Increase police patrols.
So I don't know why I chose to punish myself watching Laura Kuenssberg on a Sunday morning, but in particular listening to Kemi Badenoch just totally be ridiculous, saying, yes, we support free speech, but except for all these times that free speech has been demonstrated in a so-called democratic society, and yes, we would be changing those things. When I've gone to those marches and I've walked alongside Jewish comrades in trying to stop the genocide that's happening in Israel, trying to pressure our government from aiding and abetting, using our taxes in part to fund this genocide. When I march alongside those people, those Jewish people who are at those protests, I get immense part of pride that in part of our multicultural society we can have Muslims, we can have Jews, we can have Christians, we can have people who don't have any faith or lots of different faiths. We are able to march in common to say, look, this genocide is wrong, and we should not be aiding and abetting it. And again, that's our patriotic duty to be doing that. When we've got Kemi here saying, we support free speech, but except for in this kind of protest. And she said it earlier on as well. She said, you've made your point now, it's time to stop because these protests are causing more anti-Semitism. I tell you what's causing the anti-Semitism. When I looked at a video this morning, I saw Israeli minister Itamar Ben-Gvir had his 50th birthday cake and it's got a fucking noose on it. And it's like, I've got my little noose cake to celebrate the laws that now we're able to execute Palestinian prisoners. Yay, woo! And then those same people say that we're doing this for all Jewish people around the world. Of course, when you have that evil, rapacious, genocidal state conflating their actions with all Jewish people, it might trickle, especially those who've got mental health issues like this chap in Wakelyn-Green the other day, might make that conflation that Jewish people and the state of Israel one of the same thing. Obviously a grotesque and incorrect conflation, but you need to be calling out the elephant in the room. That is the reason that anti-Semitism is going up in this country. Also, you've got a lot of British Jewish organisations, certainly not all, but kind of a good chunk of them, also allowing, aiding and abetting and supporting the Israeli government's actions in Gaza, Palestine, and just bombing all the countries around them as well. And we need to be calling that out. Heidi Alexander was on earlier, who's a Labour minister. Israel didn't come up once when she was talking about the rise in anti-Semitism in Britain. But of course, talking about these pro-Palestine marches, pro-ceasefire marches, as that's the reason, rather than, all those kids, their families, laying under the rubble of their homes in Gaza, which was 75-80% of the place has been levelled. It's a grotesque timeline that we're living in where these things aren't being spoke about. Zach was on as well halfway through, and he kind of raised it as a point as well that, I'm a Jewish person, I go to these marches. I'm abhorred that the Israeli government would say they're doing their actions for me as a Jewish person. And and that's something that we hear throughout these marches. And if anyone was genuine, if Kemi was genuine about trying to learn why people are going on these marches, rather than just saying, I don't socialise with anti-Semites. It's like, you are a fucking anti-Semite if you think all Jewish people should think the same way. So, fuming. Absolutely fuming. All these fuckwads in ties. Well, she's not wearing one right now, actually. I don't think actually anyone wore a tie on this particular show. But when you've got these people just politicising, using it as a political football, this really important issue that doesn't just make Jewish Brits less safe, but actually just makes us all less safe in society as our rights get stripped. It's very sad. Oh. Got a Manderland as well. There you are.